And welcome back to Fourth and Pain. I'm Adam Carriker with the largest arms on the D-line. That's Chuck Carroll sitting next to me, the weight loss champion.
It's Carroll.
I apologize. I can't help myself. His cousin is Steve Carroll. And on the line, we have the two-time best trainer in the world. We have the National Trainer of the Year, the guy who has helped me immensely get ready for this season. He's going to help me with my rehab, Mr. Billy Beck. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, thanks for having me on the show, Adam. You too, Chuck. Good to meet you.
Well, great to talk to you, man. I greatly appreciate you coming on. Adam's actually been telling me a lot about you for the better part of a year and some of the interesting things that you and he have been doing to make sure that not only came into this season in really good shape, but now obviously to make sure that his rehab goes swimmingly.
Yeah, absolutely. Last year, my locker was next to John Beck, and he kept telling me about the guy he was working with. And, he told me he trained The Rock, and so I kind of was interested. And then he told me he was the National Trainer of the Year, and then the, two-time best trainer of the year in the world. So, I got a hold of Billy, and, the guy's just totally blown me away with his knowledge. So everyone is going to, and the idea here is basically you just fill people in, kind of how you help me get ready for the season, whether it be nutritionally, workout-wise, just kind of what it was like to work with me this off season, and then kind of how you plan on helping me with my. I'm working with the Redskins trainers, and they're a great staff, but you're going to fly up this week and help me out with the rehabilitation and stuff, getting rehabbing for my knee as well.
Yeah, Adam. I gotta say, when I first met you, I was, I came out of the airport because came to Denver. And you got out of the truck, and I was like, that is the largest human being I've ever seen in my life.
You did say that to me, by the way.
I was serious. That was the first thing I said to you. I didn't even say hi. I was like, you're huge. You're like, what did you expect?
That's what I said.
And then I'm like, wow, he must eat pretty good because he's fairly lean. He's got some stuff going on, but that's all right. And then I started asking him about his nutrition, and my man drinks Coke. He's wings. I was like, he's a professional athlete. I was like, we're talking about supplements, and he has all these supplements. Like a ridiculous amount of supplements. Like, you take GNC, empty out the shelves, and that's about a third of what Adam had in his house.
Wow.
Literally.
It's not much of an exaggeration. We went to Chipotle. I picked him up at the airport, and went to Chipotle. And I'm like, well, I got this guy here with me, and he flew all the way here. I feel like I should eat healthy. So I go, I don't really know what to order. He's like, order whatever you normally order. So I get what I normally order at Chipotle, and I get a big Coke. And he gives me this look like a mother would give her child if the child had just lied, burned down the house, killed the dog, and just like he was just completely wasted, 5 hours out of his time flying to come. He was just so, and to this day, he'll still text me, Coke? Really? This was like 6 months ago.
You ordered a Coke.
Hey, Billy, let me ask you. I mean, obviously, training plays an important role, but it sounds like you're really big on the nutritional end, and Adam has a few years left in his tank, but he has a teammate by the name of London Fletcher. I'm not sure if you're familiar with him, but the guy's been around playing football probably since they had leather helmets, it seems like.
Seems like it.
What do you think a guy like that is eating to be able to sustain, almost a 20-year career in the NFL?
Well, I don't know what London actually eats, but there's some people genetically, they just keep playing and with total disregard what they eat. And some people use it as an edge. Most of the clients that I work with in the NFL and most of the pro athletes that come to me when a little bit after their peak, like maybe they hit the magical 3-0. And that's when a lot of people are starting to write them off, like, they don't got much time left. Adam, to his credit, came to me sooner because, he'll do whatever it takes to get the edge. I mean, within legal means, of course.
Of course.
I mean, he'll do whatever it takes. And even after we told him not to drink the Coke, I mean, he cut it out, too. I said, you can have it 3 times a week. And he did it, too. I mean, a lot of people won't do those things, and they'll do whatever it takes. But nutrition is, to be lasting, nutrition is the key because every second of the day, your cells are breaking down. And what you eat, what you put in your body, what you drink is replacing the cells. So you are what you eat in actuality. So if you're going out there and you're smashing into people, you're training the off season, and then you're eating garbage, you're building your body back up, but not as strong as it once was. So over time, it's going to break down. Well, and so the answer to the question is nutrition is critical, yes.
Well, Billy, let me ask you this. You guys keep going back to Coke. What exactly does that do to the body? How is that going to impact an NFL athlete on a Sunday afternoon? How is that going to prevent them from performing at their peak?
Well, here's what sugar does. Coke, I'm picking on it because that's the most popular, but it's any type of sugar. Even juice has a ton of sugar in it. If you take 12 ounces of orange juice and 12 ounces of Coke, they have the same amount of sugar. Now, sugar, anytime you have fuel. We're talking about athletes specifically, but for anyone else, sugar will make you store fat. You cannot do that when you ingest sugar. So for everyone that doesn't play NFL, that's all you need. The other thing is if you're trying to be at your best mentally and physically as an athlete, sugar is like low octane fuel. If you put it in, you burn it up. And there's two types of fuel. Like if you want to make a fire, throw on a fire and you light it, and it will be amazing fire for about 2 seconds, and then there's nothing left.
We're speaking
with better fuel, and it'll last longer.
We're speaking with Billy Beck, renowned trainer and somebody that's helping Adam Carriker personally with his rehabilitation. Adam, have you cut the sugars out of your system?
I did really good. My next question is going to be, what's the biggest change he had to make with me? What is the biggest change you had to make with me? And then I'll answer your question. What was the biggest change? And I know the answer, but fans know what the biggest change I had to make was, Billy.
Well, it was your food. It was your eating, more than your supplement, anything else. And it was definitely your food, bottom line.
Well, when he had me write down what I was eating every day. And every time I'd say so, he'd just shake his head and he'd just kind of close his eyes and write. And at the end of it, I go, it's like bad, right? He goes, yeah, dude, this is terrible. That's what he said to me. I was like, okay.
The dreaded food journal.
So the answer is yes. The biggest thing I had to change was my food and my nutrition. And, he laid out a plan for me, what I should eat here, and here. I get so many, I call them reward meals a week. It's like 4, and I can have like 3 Cokes a week, and I have followed it to a T. Now, since my surgery, I'm not going to lie, I haven't. I was sick a couple days afterwards, and, I don't have training camp for a while, and I'm just kind of getting back into feeling healthy. So I plan on getting back into that mode. But for the most part, for, the 8 or 9 months since we originally met, I have followed it to a T. And I believe it's helped me a ton.
Now, Billy, I understand that not only have you dipped into the NFL clientele with Adam and former Redskins quarterback John Beck, but with this being a show half about pro wrestling, Adam tells me that you also spent some time training The Rock. What was that experience like?
Dwayne, I trained him for over 5 years, actually. And he was ready for the movie. So we'd prepare him for whatever his roles were. He's leaner and like actually smaller because you can only be so big if someone next to you is really small. It doesn't fit the screen right. So, but what I'll say is, The Rock is he's a mental giant. He is extreme discipline. He will work to his eyes bleed. Guy is just focused. He's made to be who he is. So I mean, he's made to be the wrestler, superstar. Everything he does. I mean, the goal, nothing's going to stop the guy, literally. I mean, I would never bet against him.
Well, it sounds like your phone's breaking up a little bit there. Maybe you can step outside or find a better location to talk. But, from that, it all goes back to work ethic. And to me, that just says that there is no magical pill to make you the best NFL player that you can be, the best pro wrestler that you can be, the most chiseled actor that you can be. At the end of the day, it's always going to go back to diet and exercise, correct?
Absolutely.
You're absolutely right, Chuck.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with Billy. I mean, you have so many certain physical gifts and talents, and then you connect with a guy like Billy, a nutritionist or a strength coach, and that's kind of what puts you over the top and makes you, whether you're elite, whether you're good, whether you're really good, average, or you don't quite make a team.
Now, Billy, you're going to be in town this weekend or later on in a few days to help out Adam with his rehab. Can you tell us a little bit about what it is you're going to be doing with him? Because I understand that the process is a little bit unique.
Yeah, I'm trained in a bunch of different things. I'm open to anything that produces results. So if someone says, Ayurveda, the study of medicine that was 5,000 years ago, works, I literally went to India to study it. So I didn't want to study from some guy in America. It didn't make sense. So I would go to India and study it. And if there's something else, I will go to the source and study it because I realize I don't know that much. So I need to learn it from everyone that I can. So when I come in there, I already have a lot of experience with Adam. So we have a really solid foundation. So we have the food in place. Well, he's got to get the food back in place. And then we'll fine-tune his supplements, and we'll determine if he has any muscle imbalances. Since he just had surgery, he's certainly going to have some. So we will go from the basics like water, nutrition, and then we'll start doing what we call applied kinesiology or muscle testing. Well, I'll have him resist me, and I'm testing his nervous system function. Like, is the muscle on the outside of his hip? It probably isn't because he's been favoring it because of the other leg. And so there'll be certain, it may be an exercise, it may even be a supplement like a nutrient, and he needs to balance it so that muscle can contract fully. And if it doesn't contract, other muscles around it will compensate, and that's how injuries occur. A lot of people think an injury occurs most of the time from some trauma all at once, or they just pick a towel off the floor. But, you play in the NFL, that can happen quite frequently, and, that's going to be the case. But in everyday life, with most of the listeners, they're going to just pick something up and they'll reach in the back seat and tear the rotator cuff, but it's not because of that one thing they did. It's an accumulative effect. They may not drink enough water, and now their connective tissue is more brittle, and that's what caused it. So if they would drink more water, they could have reached back there and been fine. So what we do is there's no one thing. We use muscle testing to determine exactly what he needs right now when I'm there, and that's going to we're going to provide his body with everything it needs, whether it's nutrition, exercise, supplements, more water, different foods, whatever it is, so the body can heal itself. I don't really do much. I just use Tim to figure out what works, what he needs right now.
Now we're going to record this process, and next week we're going to be posting it up, some of the testing he did and kind of how the process works, because it is unique. I'd never seen it till Billy did it with me. And we're going to be putting it up on fourthandpain.com for people to see.
And that'll be really interesting, I think, especially for the fans to see exactly what an NFL player goes through as far as rehabilitation. You hear, well, this 4 to 6 month time frame for your return, but what exactly do you have to go through in those 4 to 6 months? And this is really cool. It's an opportunity to peel back the proverbial curtain and actually show fans what it is you're experiencing.
Absolutely. Billy helped me, before the injury. I believe it was like 11% body fat. I put on like 12 pounds of muscle. I didn't really say anything at the time, but I had the most amount of lean muscle mass. I'm trying to get the verbiage right. Lean muscle mass on the team by over 10 pounds.
Wow.
So he really helped me a lot. And I noticed a huge difference from the time that he first came out. I think it was in March to right up until training camp when the staff at the Redskins Park did all this testing on me.
Wow. And Billy, very much looking forward to meeting you. How can people find out a little bit more about you?
Well, I think you just go to my website, billybeck.com. It's BILLYBECK.com. And if anyone has any questions, feel free to connect with me. You can go on Twitter. It's just at Billy Beck, the number 3. And I answer any questions. I answer most of the questions. They're dumb questions I'm not going to answer. I'm just going to be honest, right? Well, I'm going to forward them to Adam and let him take care of them.
Hey, that's all right. I'll answer questions. Now, I got to put my guy over a little bit here. I got to tell a few things about him. He does not have a TV because he spends every night just studying and reading. He is a complete nerd, which is why he knows what he's talking about. You look at the guy. He looks like a complete jock, so he is a nerd trapped in a jock's body. Which makes him the best trainer in the world. The dude ran 50 miles. On mile 15, he tore his meniscus, ran the next 36 miles, which adds up to 51. And why did he run an extra mile? Because he always goes the extra mile, is what he says.
Hardcore.
Absolutely. On a torn meniscus. I have called this guy on Saturday nights before games at like 11, 1 a.m., midnight. What should I take? I can't sleep. What should I do tomorrow for the game? The guy will always answer, always calls back. Great trainer, just an overall great human being, and he's awesome to work with. So I think the video is going to be very interesting for people to see next week when we post it.
That's a heck of an endorsement. Billy Beck, thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Chuck. Thank you, Adam. I really appreciate it, brother.
Well, I do have to bring you back down to earth. He might be the one guy that is shorter than you, Chuck.
Oh, my God. Is he a short guy?
No, I was just trying to bring him back down to earth. He's still actually taller than you. But
I'm 5'9", but Adam's like 6'9", so I do seem short next to him.
I can't be. I got to be a little mean. It's just in me.
I'm used to it. I just didn't know if you treated other people the way you treat me. And evidently you do, you bully.
Hey, you want to know something? He was bringing me my crutches. Chuck was bringing my crutches the other day. My crutches are taller than Chuck is. And that is not a joke. That is the truth.
By a good couple of inches, too.
He was standing next to Angie, and Angie was taller than him by an inch.
If these things happen, I can't control it. All I know is I have a big personality.
You
and
do.
That's what I'm
You
banking
do.
on, damn it.
That's why we love you.
Matters.
And that's all the abuse I can take for 1 week. So with that, thank you so very much for believing in my weirdness, our weirdness. I'm Chuck Carroll.
I'm Adam Carriker. I've got the largest arms on the D-line. Kiss it.
No,
All
no,
right.
not going to happen.
Peace out, home skillet. He kissed it off air last week. Peace out, home skillet.